Hey, what's going on? It is yours truly, Timothy J. Jones. Thank you for stopping by the State of the NFL podcast. I ask that you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. This is a channel where we talk about some of the hottest topics in all of the NFL. Hey, what's going on, sports fans? It is yours truly, TJ Jones. Welcome to another edition of the State of the NFL podcast. It's where we talk about some of the hottest topics in all of the National Football League. Just like always, before we get started, I ask that you hit the like and subscribe button. It helps the channel to grow, and I really appreciate that. On this edition, we're going to be talking about the New Orleans Saints and their quarterback competition. Now, I'm pretty sure you know by now that the New Orleans Saints are turning a page. Derek Carr, who was the starting quarterback of the New Orleans Saints for the last two seasons, retired this past offseason, and you have some young, inexperienced quarterbacks that are trying to replace him. You have Spencer Rattler, who started in 6 games last season, played in 7. He's trying to become the permanent starter. And of course, the New Orleans Saints selected in the second round of this past draft, Tyler Shough out of Louisville with the second round pick. It was the highest pick the New Orleans Saints drafted a quarterback since 1971 with Archie Manning. And of course, I got to mention Jake Haener, who is a long shot, but he's been with the team longer than any of these quarterbacks. He's trying to become the starter as well. But I think if you are looking at this competition, it's coming down to 2 individuals. And those individuals are Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shough. And the Saints had their first preseason game on Sunday. They took on the Los Angeles Chargers, and both quarterbacks played in a game. And both had some highs, both had some lows. I'll start with Spencer Rattler. Rattler started the game, and he has been doing really well in training camp. In fact, if you talk to some members of the media, people that follow the team or watch Saints practice, you would think that Spencer Rattler has an advantage over Tyler Shough and Jake Haener as of right now. I mean, the fact that he understands the speed of the game, his experience in playing in 6 games, so that gives him the edge over quarterbacks like Tyler Shough and Jake Haener. So he got the start in the game, and I have to admit there were some good qualities about Spencer Rattler in this game. Also, I seen some improvement to his mechanics as a quarterback. I like his footwork. It seemed like he made quicker decisions, and he was putting the ball where it needed to be from time to time. But the more things change, the more they stay the same. I'm more concerned at some of the things that I continue to see from Spencer Rattler. We know that he has the arm strength, the ability. He had that since he was a freshman at Oklahoma and when he played at South Carolina. But it's just him sensing pressure around him in the pocket. He turned the ball over. And this is something that Spencer Rattler dealt with last season, turning the ball over at an alarming rate. I don't care how talented you are. I don't care how good you are. If you turn the ball over, you are not going to get an opportunity to be a starter in the National Football League. But he had a very, very promising game. I think that he really did a good job in some parts, but you have to take care of the football. And you look at Tyler Shough, who came in the game in the second quarter. He came in, facilitated a 2-minute drill, was able to get the ball down the field. They got points out of it. You know, he had a pick 6 to start the third quarter, but he shook it off. And I think that Saints fans wanted to see how Tyler Shough was going to play in this game. You have some Saints fans that don't know what to think about Tyler Shough. Some are upset that the New Orleans Saints decided to draft him instead of a quarterback like Shedeur Sanders. So he has a lot of pressure on him to succeed, not just being the successor and a potential franchise quarterback, but because you had Shedeur Sanders who played so well on Friday night. But he had really good composure after that pick 6, and he made some really good decisions afterwards. I guess, you got to get the nerves out. It's your first football game in the National Football League. It is preseason, but this is a moment that you've been waiting for your entire life. And he responded. He threw a 54-yard touchdown pass to wide receiver Mason Tipton to put the Saints on the board. So you have to believe that Tyler Shough is creeping up on this competition. Some may believe that Spencer Rattler is going to be the starter, but I don't think that Spencer Rattler has that much distance over Tyler Shough, that a game like Tyler Shough played in preseason game 1, he can't catch up to Spencer Rattler. Spencer Rattler, to me, and I thought this at the beginning of this offseason process, especially when the Saints drafted Tyler Shough. I felt that Spencer Rattler needed to play otherworldly. I'm talking about look completely different than he did last season in order for him to become the starter. You don't draft a guy this high, higher than any other quarterback in your franchise's history since 71, to have him sit on the bench. The New Orleans Saints are trying to give Tyler Shough the opportunity to take it. Now, I'm not saying that they're trying to take everything away from Spencer Rattler and not give him a fair shot, but they want Tyler Shough to work out. Tyler Shough made some really good plays. And to be honest with you, I watched all of the rookie quarterbacks over the weekend in preseason game number 1. All of these young quarterbacks that were drafted pretty high, the Cam Wards, the Tyler Shoughs, Jalen Miro, Jackson Dart, they all were impressive. Shadur Sanders. But when it comes to the arm talent and the way that Tyler Shough just delivers the football, right? It just seems like the ball just zips out of his hand. I can honestly see why the New Orleans Saints went after him over some of these other quarterbacks. I can see the talent that the Saints saw. Now, can he put it all together to be that starter or that franchise quarterback that the Saints need him to be? Only time will tell. And also, Jake Haener came in the game towards the end of the game. Look, I like Jake Haener a lot. I think that Jake Haener has a bright future as a future coach, whether it's calling offensive plays or a head coach potentially, but it just levels to this. I think that he tries really hard. I think that if many football players had the heart that Jake Haener had, I think they'll be around the league for a long time. But I just think that certain guys are given God-given abilities and talents, and some guys, they just go for what they actually have and try to work with it. And I just think Jake Haener is one of those guys. There's nothing really too special about Jake Haener. He just goes out there and tries hard, but there's levels to this in the National Football League. And I just think that he's a tad bit in over his head when it comes to being a starting quarterback. Maybe, a journeyman backup quarterback or, stay in the league because of his knowledge. He'll be able to, be a really good mentor to, younger quarterbacks. But as a starter, I don't think so. I think that is, once again, coming down to 2 quarterbacks. I think that Tyler Shough did enough for the New Orleans Saints to allow him to start in their next game versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think that the Saints want to do that, especially after the performance, to see how he looks with the first-team offensive line. Now, the offensive line looked like trash, but nonetheless, those are the guys that you're going to be playing with if you are the starting quarterback of the New Orleans Saints. This competition is far from over, but right now it's neck and neck, and these 2 quarterbacks are going to have to put forth a really good performance over the next couple of games if they want to be the starter going into week 1.